Hey comrades, welcome to Kentcore. Tearing the fascists down with us tonight is Barricade Baby.
Wow, thank you for that introduction. Uma's running, Uma's gonna get where Uma needs to be. Uma is running, Uma's never free, but Uma's free to me. Uma has the stamina, Uma has intentions and a race to win. Uma has endurance, Uma's gonna finish what Uma begins. It's still dark out, the clock has just struck 5:03. Uma's been stretching, hits pavement before the sun's rising. There's a finish line that's always moving. There's an audience that's always cheering. Uma's stride may falter, but pushes forward a fluorescent future. Uma moves toward it's a tough terrain, and the risks are mounting. The months are weeks and days, and Uma's counting. The journey's daunting, but our protagonist has a series of and an iron fist. Uma is a runner. Uma's gonna get where Uma needs to be. Uma is a runner. Uma's never free, but Uma's free to me. You don't know just how far Uma will go. You don't know just how hard Uma goes. Uma goes to the river. It's been a rough day and even rougher week. Uma slips into the water. Uma is solemn, Uma doesn't speak. You don't know just how far Uma will go. You don't know just how hard Uma goes. You don't know just how far Uma will go. You don't know just how hard Uma goes. You don't know just how hard Uma goes.
I guess we could like banter between the songs.
Oh,
too,
yeah.
if you want.
I forgot I could speak.
Hey y'all, we're Barricade Baby. Happy to be here.
Make sure, yeah. A little bit of rearranging.
All right, here we go. They said I was theirs for 8 hours a day. They said I should smile and I shouldn't complain. They said to get used to a world that's in pain. They said ask them if I could abstain.
They said that my body's not mine.
They said
That the state will take care of me fine.
they said
All the tanks when I stepped out of line.
they came.
They left fear and destruction behind.
I choose to belong to a world that doesn't exist yet. I choose to belong to a world that doesn't exist yet.
doesn't exist yet. I thought I was crazy, thought I was alone. I thought I cannot call the system my home. I'm from a place that does not yet exist. So go on ahead, write me up on your list. I searched
The whole wall till I found a crack.
I stuck one foot in
and left the other foot back. Now I'm half in and half out, living between these two places.
There's a world that we're building,
And the world it erases.
I choose to belong to a world that doesn't exist yet. I choose to belong to a world that doesn't exist yet. I choose to belong to a world that doesn't exist yet. I choose to belong to a world that doesn't exist yet.
When here breaks you, you hold on to
A world that doesn't exist yet. It's not perfect, but life's worth it in a world that doesn't exist yet.
When I'm there, I swear it's like it really
Exists yet, and I choose to belong to a world that doesn't exist yet.
All right, rock on. We're a band in transition, which is apt, as we are all also largely trans. And so what we're transitioning from is punk rock to folk punk. The only reason being because we lost our drummer, but and it's great. We love them.
They're
a friend.
alive.
They're a friend. And we love them. But we think that this sound could work for us. We think it's working. So let's keep it pushing.
You got this one, Tim.
Burning fog of war crimes, burning war crimes. Propaganda on our minds, churning young minds. A prison that is Palestine, yearning Palestine. It's not war, it's genocide. It's not war, it's genocide. This is not excusable, it's not complicated. What a world that we live in when victims are implicated. Child raised on rationed light, fully subjugated. What should that child know when only hate's communicated? Locked in, no escape, no hospitals to medicate. Classmates to cellmates, living in apartheid state. What happens when they congregate? Try peacefully to demonstrate. Your overpowered military chooses to retaliate. Places of worship desecrated, neighborhoods eliminated. You're surprised when they rise. You're so quick to demonize when they resist. Phosphorus mist and fists and fists and fists and fists. But it's you who created this. It's you who are the terrorists. It's you who spin your twisted lies as war planes fill up the sky. It's you as you colonize, as mothers die and babies cry. The news proclaiming hate crimes as death tolls on the strip climb. It's not war, it's genocide. It's not war, it's genocide. It's not war, they have no army. Your retribution is alarming. Billions in artillery, they don't have enough to eat. You starve them out with your blockade. You bomb their sources of first aid. You fill their air with noxious gases. Mother cries in thunder blast. You have the media in your pocket. Block eyes from reporter sockets. You've always been on the attack. charge you with genocide. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. Gaza, Gaza, don't you cry. Palestine will never die. Gaza, Gaza, don't you cry. Palestine will never die. It's not war, it's genocide. 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 It's not war, it's genocide.
Next one.
Yep.
How we fall together, how we come apart. Strings in a tapestry, threads of my heart. How we fall together, how we come apart. Strings in a tapestry, threads of my heart. You look deep in my eyes and promise a coat of dreams. You told me that I could tell you anything, everything. You took my hand in the market, I fought for composure. Your face inches from mine, you're always coming closer. We recline on your balcony, tangled your hips pressed against my thigh. Our bodies, our limbs are entwined. Lips so close, I could taste your size, pushing me, pulling me. I can't help but feel craze, longing like soft embrace. Sunset, summer days, tugging out my phrase. Pierce me with your gaze. I pull back the veil. There's nothing there. How we fall together, how we come apart. Strings in a tapestry, threads of my heart. How we fall together, how we come apart. Strings in a tapestry, threads of my heart. I listened to your sweet words, I took them for true. You tricked me with fingertips, you unraveled me like a spool. Split the fiber of my heartstrings, follow the thread from tip to end. Find the hole I tried to mend, tear it apart. And your sweet words, your soft hands, your lies, close embrace, hips against thighs. Your sweet words, your soft hands, your lies. Your sweet words, your lies, 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 your lies. Rip apart my phrase, pierce me with your gaze. I pull back the veil, nothing there still. How we fall together, how we come apart. Strings in a tapestry, threads of my heart. How we fall together, how we come apart. Strings in a tapestry, threads of my heart. I dared believe in love again. I had revived the dead and dreamed. I brushed away the dust in the corners. It was never as it seemed. I let loose words that I wanted to swallow. I danced when I wanted to wallow. I held you come apart. Whew. How we fall, how I come apart. Guys, I'm bleeding.
Oh my god.
It's like
That's
a murder scene over here.
that's folk punk for ya.
No, actually, I'm good.
Well, then
This guy.
you might want them in a better place.
Can we get a camera zoom in on Tam bleeding?
Oh,
Tam's finger is bleeding.
Oh, yeah.
I want folks to know that.
oh, it's okay. It's just, it looks
My
like a
finger
lot.
bleeding, my
Listen,
finger's
revolution
bleeding.
is sacrifice, right? It takes sacrifice to make change, to carry out a revolution, to tell the truth, right? There's all these students losing their visas right now,
I think
right?
5 in Kent State.
For standing up for Palestine.
Or even just for being students who
Right.
aren't from here.
And so that's a sacrifice.
Yeah.
And the minimal sacrifice of bloodshed here at kentcore is what we have to offer today.
Ties perfectly into the next song, too. Where was it?
All right.
You start this one off, Saber. This one goes out to all the comrades.
If there's anyone out there listening who's wondering what to do about the state of the world, this one's for you. You feel all your grays and blues inside your throat, the darkness and pain buried inside the world, and all of the history inside your bones. Revolutionary, you are not alone.
When everyone's treating you with empty eyes, you smile and know that they are hypnotized. You're living inside the belly of the beast. Your neighbors and friends are someone else's beast. The people you love, you're breaking inside.
Depression, anxiety, and suicide. They're part of a system that's designed to kill. The profits are made from all the blood they spill. When you know what you know, you can't unknow it. So you move through the world and try to show it. When you feel all alone, I hope you know that. When it's time to resist, I'll be your comrade. We walked down the sand, we carried all our grief between our hands in somber disbelief. When two revolutionaries finally meet, there's no force on earth the two of us can't beat. When you know what you know, you can't unknow it. So you move the world and try to show it. When you feel all alone, I hope you know that. When it's time to resist, I'll be your comrade. When you know what you know, you can't unknow it. So you move through the world and try to show it. When you feel all alone, I hope you know that. When it's time to resist, I'll be your comrade. When it's time to resist, I'll be your comrade. When it's time to resist, I'll be your comrade. When it's time to resist, I'll be your comrade. When it's time to resist, I'll be your comrade. When you know what you know, you can't unknow it. So you move through the world and try to show it. When you feel all alone, I hope you know that. When it's time to resist, I'll be your comrade.
Alright, we got one more for y'all.
Would you like to introduce the next song, Tim?
Yes, please.
So this song is a tribute to Aaron Bushnell, who is a young man from Akron. He lived in Akron.
And he self-immolated in February of last year. And that means he set himself on fire. And he did it because he was a vet, and he was just sick to his stomach about what was happening in Palestine. So that was his way of self-sacrificing, of protesting, doing the ultimate act of protest, to speak out about this horrible thing that's happening. Yeah, and it's called Exit Interview for a Man on Fire.
Thank you for joining us today. We've been dying to hear what you have to say. You've been burning to share what's on your heart. Recent events have been tearing us apart. Another historic moment, now we have to cope. Learn to box breathe with a raw and aching throat. Memorize another chant, raise another sign. Here they come now, link your arms with mine. Did you think that your last words would be free Palestine? Here they come now, link your arms with mine. Your land, this land, my land, this land, this land, this land, this land, this land, your land, my land, your land. Please take my hand, my hand, my hand. This land, your land, this land, my land, this land, this land, this land, this land, this land, your land, my land, your land. Please take my hand. Another martyr is carved into the stars. Another face unrecognized through the scars. Another family ripped asunder as we watch. Our eyes are dry as we grow numb to the lies. You had to burn to cut through the haze. The days they pay for every day to quiet the ads, be loud enough to make us hear, to call their bluff. The price of a listening ear was something dear, and now I fear it's not enough. They seem proud, they kiss my land, your land. Please take my hand, my hand, my hand. This land, your land, this land, my land. This land, this land, this land, this land. This land, your land, my land, your land. Please take my hand. We saw him, our dying son, calling for freedom through immolation. They saw him, somebody's son, and they pointed a gun. They pointed a gun. We saw him, our dying son, calling for freedom through immolation. They saw him, somebody's son, and they pointed a gun. They pointed a gun. Aaron was an airman, only 25. Set himself ablaze, recorded live. He is survived by his cat. Left to a neighbor, didn't die right away. He passed. 7 hours later, he said, I'm sorry to my brother and friends for leaving you like this. Of course, if I was truly sorry, I wouldn't be doing it. But the machine demands blood. None of this is fair. And now that man is dead and the machine doesn't care. It's land, your land, it's land, my land. This land, this land, this land, this land, this land, your land, my land, your land. Please take my hand, my hand, my hand. It's land, your land, it's land, my land. This land, this land, this land, this land, this land, your land, my land, your land. Please take my hand. This land, 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 this.
That was Barricade Baby. Coming up next is an interview to get to know the band. Welcome back to Kentcore. Here tonight is Barricade Baby. So just getting started, if we could introduce all of yourselves and where you're from.
You'll start at the end here?
We'll start with me.
Yeah.
I'm a Kanos. I am the bassist, rhythm, whatever is necessary, multi-talented and all that. I'm here, I'm from Cleveland Heights, Shaker Heights, really moved around only a little bit, but been around.
Yeah. My name is Amira. I am currently the violist. Previously, if you've seen the other sets, I was the keyboardist also. But yeah, I'm also here from Cleveland. So yeah.
My name is Saber, and I use they, them pronouns, and I live in Cleveland Heights.
Yeah. I'm Tam, they, them. I'm also Cleveland Heights, born Dayton, Ohio.
Ren, she, it. And I'm also Cleveland Heights. And I play the lead rhythm guitar.
Oh, I didn't say what I played.
I also didn't say what I played.
It's fine, we'll get
You
there.
can't say that on here.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. That's the last one I get. Guitar, vocals.
I do vocals and piano now, and also baritone ukulele, if you're wondering what that instrument was.
Sickest thing ever.
It's just a large ukulele.
So starting from the beginning, how did Barricade Baby begin? Like, who started it, and what's kind of the story behind the group's origin?
Do you want me to take this
Yeah,
one?
you can go first.
All right, so Tam and I started Barricade Baby we had been living together and organizing together and wanted to form a band, and so we started bringing people on. There's been a few different turnovers of different folks, and this is where we're at right now, but really the goal was to be a band that could play radical leftist, revolutionary socialist music and communicate those kinds of messages to people through a medium that folks could understand. And I think at our band's like highest peak, we are playing at a protest. Like that is, if we're doing what we want to be doing, there's a literal protest outside, people are chanting, and Barricade Baby is there. And there's one time that we've been able to do that, and that was at the student encampments for Palestine that happened at Case Western Reserve University. They asked Barricade Baby if we could come out and play at the encampment, and I think that that has been kind of our band highlight and sort of us living up to our purpose.
Yeah, hardcore highlight.
Yeah, you've had a little bit of a kind of a recent shift in sound. How did that kind of happen, and was it a gradual or was it more like sudden shift?
I feel like I could take that. And then add on, please. But I'm the most recent addition to Barricade Baby. That camera. Anyway, sorry. And I brought a heavy like folk punk sound to the band. I tried like the punk rock stuff, but as soon as we would like start to practice, and I used my acoustic guitar. So I feel like I brought some of that, but really the big one was that our drummer left the band, and so like without a drummer,
It's not.
it's chill. We're cool.
We're super chill. Yeah.
We love them.
It was just
old.
They just wanted a garden.
Yeah.
They didn't want to tour so much. I
Yeah.
mean, not that we were
Right.
touring. They didn't want to play out, and they were like,
well,
just want to come home and drink a beer. I mean, I guess not a beer, but
drink something.
Anyway, point
And then
being.
the Folk Fest was like the big thing. So I organized a Trans-Ohio benefit show at Little Rose called the Folk Fest. And that was like, I feel like our first time being like a folk punk band instead of a punk rock band. But in my opinion, it's not a necessity. Like we all have busy lives. We're all like doing stuff. And so like to be able to show up however we can just to bring the music to folks. Like folk punk is really accessible for that.
For sure.
But I don't know if anyone knows why.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say I think a big aspect of it, what made the switch easier, is that it kind of fit with our secondary instruments we played. Also, like obviously me playing the viola. I feel like once the viola came in, I know Tam was like, oh no, this is set. We're here. We're folk punk.
It's
and
true.
it's true.
I mean, I know with our drummer leaving, but like it also was just a good fit with like the setup we had as musicians and instrumentalists as well. So,
And
yeah.
the last thing I want to add is that Saber and I were OG folk, and we were trying to have a punk band like really intentionally almost. And then it just like, I think our true sound and like our true roots just kind of like wiggled their way out, especially with Ren kind of just like bringing the folk back and encouraging us. It was just like, okay, fine, twist my arm. We can be folk again, it's cool. And so it was like kind of like a homecoming too in a way.
Yeah, so there is a lot of overlap in the Cleveland folk scene. I know a lot of people are a part of a lot of different projects. People have solo projects. They often play different bands. How do you keep like Barricade Baby's musical identity separate from that, or is that something that's important to you?
Ooh, that's a
a great
fun
question.
one, actually.
I mean, I think for them it's very easy. They have a very different sound.
Yeah. No, I know. Because honestly, like, I mean, me as a person, I've always like never wanted to like box myself into one genre. So whether it's punk, folk, like I'm down for it either way. But yeah, no, I mean, I also do stuff where I do like a mix of like more hardcore punk and hip hop also. So I'm basically everywhere. But I feel like like I know for me and Akano, since we also do other stuff, it's it doesn't mix that much. But I also love to keep people guessing.
Right, we can leave cross-plugging for later. Maybe we can talk about that project.
They're in a band called Matter is Void.
Yeah.
Okay, see here.
And Tam is Dyke Wife.
Oh, really?
And obviously Girl in the Shade.
Mm-hmm.
And I just play at open mics.
I think sometimes there's crossover and sometimes there isn't.
Yeah, sure. I guess on the topic of that kind of individualism, as individuals, how has music affected or impacted your like queer identities?
You guys are queer?
I found myself through music always, like writing about whatever I'm going through. And this is like no different, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. I know one of the first songs I ever wrote, which has not been released. Nobody's heard it, but it actually was about like like my thoughts, like coming into like understanding myself, trans identity, and a lot of other thoughts. So I feel like for me especially, like it's kind of funny that music just ended up following me through that journey as well. So yeah.
I don't know. I
Declan.
mean, I think that my music's obviously queer. I write about my heartbreak with like non-binary people and women, and like there's either like neutral or no pronouns in a lot of my songs because I want it to like be like anybody could be in that position. Like Uma, for example, is about a person who didn't use pronouns. So there isn't a pronoun in that song except for Uma, So I don't know. I guess there are ways that I like explicitly play with queerness, and it's through that. But like I don't know. Mostly I'm just a person processing my feelings, and I happen to be queer. So I don't know. I don't have a song where I'm just like I'm a dyke and I love it and I do it every day. But maybe I should.
I would listen.
Tune in.
Yeah, that's a bunch of different experiences, which is really interesting. And when it comes to writing music, when you write as Barricade Baby, how much of that is collaborative and how much of that is you coming in with individual parts? Because I'm curious with the, five-member band with the changing.
Yeah, and it used to be 6.
6, yeah.
Yeah.
Usually one of us will just come in with a song. Tam and I have written most of the songs for Barricade Baby, and one of the songs that we play, Ren wrote, and usually like one of us will come in with a song, and then that song cooks in the collective kitchen of our band. And sometimes we come in with ideas, but what ends up coming out is like a very different product. And that is like a good thing.
I think too, like for me, it was a really unique experience because I joined so late. So like I brought a fully like girl in the shade song Hydra's had to the band, and I was like, hey, this would be great for the band to play. And it felt almost like we were covering it. And now, like it changed the way that I play the song alone. Like I used to like capo it and do it real straight and real fast, and now like I don't capo it, and it's got like that Barricade Baby swing to it, and it's made the song like 10 million times better just because like I brought it to the band. And at first it felt like covering it, but now it's just like the song was just evolving.
I love that. It did cook.
Yeah, honestly, I think some of my favorite experiences, especially like coming up for instrumentals, was some of the songs like we took like maybe that we've written in the past and like we're like, but I'm gonna try it out, but like I'm not really sure. Like we didn't play the song this time. I know for the song Strong Feelings, like it kind of that was the best like writing session ever because it kind of cooked from like I don't know about this song, and then like it's like let's throw on like the keys with an organy sound, and then let's do this, and then an opera, and sometimes
we should have done that. We gotta work
No.
it. We gotta cook it.
That's what's gonna come out in our forthcoming EP.
yeah.
We do.
Our punk rock EP
Which is
that I'm not
Not
on.
the
the
sound.
last of the punk rock that y'all will hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, don't say that.
Wow.
Well, unless things change, things can always change.
Yeah.
We're mutable.
Well, not that your lyrics are very subtle, but
Yeah.
if for a chance to talk about it, what are some of the things that inspire you to make music or that inspire you to write about?
Yeah, I think this one, you already alluded to it, but so many. I mean, I think most of us are activists. Most of us are like members of the Party for Socialism and Liberation, or friends of the party, and so, which means just like that you're really involved and you come to events and things like that. And so, at least for me as a revolutionary, like like organizing a revolution in the United States is my primary life goal. And so my music is a reflection of that. Usually when I'm like thinking about a song or wanting to write a song, I'm being very influenced by something that's going on in the world. It's no coincidence that right now so many of our songs are about Palestine, because it's so top of mind. But there's other songs that we write. I wrote one song that has like, it kind of alludes to like a Lenin quote that's basically talking about how there are weeks when years happen, right? And we're in one of those moments right now in society where weeks, like a week will pass, and from the beginning of that week to the end of that week, change in the world feels so much more possible, right? And so like I wrote that song, A, because I was feeling that way, but B, because like I want it to spark something in people. I want people to feel inspired and hopeful, and that's why, and ready to do something, right? And that's why, you know, Worlds is like, I choose to belong to a world that doesn't exist yet. It takes so much commitment and dedication to belong to a world that doesn't exist yet. And so, at least for me, when I write songs, and I know that also for Tam and for Ren, and also for Matter is Void, so much of songwriting has to do with changing the world and inspiring people to get involved.
Couldn't have really said it better myself.
Yeah, I know. Honestly, like, you know, I feel like it's hard for me to imagine, like, ever, like, me personally ever, like, writing or, like, playing music that isn't, like, you know, talking about something real, something, you know, something that I kind of, like, you know, if it's something with lyrics that is coming from me, I want it to be something I care about. And I feel like everybody else can, like, you know, kind of contest to that. It's been a lot of the music that I inspired also, like, you know, if you ever know anything I listen to, it also has the same wavelength. So, you know, for me, I just want to, you know, continue helping with that energy. Yeah.
I think for me as an artist, I'm always going to react honestly to the things happening around me. And I think that it's honestly wild that there are artists who aren't saying something, because like, are you ignoring it? Like, are you like closing your eyes and not absorbing what's happening in the world? I can't imagine being a person alive right now not being deeply impacted in some way or another by what's going on. So I'm just an artist responding. I'm just here being like, oh, this is what's happening. I must say something about it. I feel utterly compelled. Can't imagine not saying something.
That or it's gay heartbreak.
Yeah.
That, and then there's that. That's my other reality, and the other thing I'm reacting to.
And if I may, just one last layer to this that we haven't quite hit the nail on is that, like, for me, I often see my music as agitation as well, and I think like the ideal Barricade Baby is like protest, agitation. So I try to, like, when I do make explicitly political songs, I try to like interject some political education in there too, like with Hydra's Head, with like the sheer amount of tons of bombs that they dropped in this tiny area within the span of 6 months. And it, like, that alone is enough to like send the like emotional message behind it too. Yeah. So, you know, I definitely wouldn't be lying if I said agitation was like a huge aspect of songwriting too.
Yeah. Well, just to wrap up, we mentioned some side projects here, but is there anything we want to promote, maybe coming up for Barricade Baby, or for what we're interested in, or even side projects? Anything we'd like to shout out?
Well, I feel like the biggest thing is for sure our, you know, EP coming out. So, you know, if you're listening to this, you should definitely check that out.
And the way to check out our EP is to follow us on Instagram at barricade_baby, where we will put anything that comes up. As I mentioned, most of us are like working full-time jobs and also organizing, and so sometimes the progress that is coming from Barricade Baby might seem a bit slow, but it's actually because there's progress going on in so many other parts of our lives. So you really, if you follow us on Instagram, you will see when our new EP comes out. It sounds so good. We just got the newest tracks. Or the edits of the tracks, and it sounds really great.
And it also sounds different from what we did today. It is a snapshot of our punk era, and I love it for that. It's like a scrapbook.
But we'll have some kind of like release
Yeah,
For
release
that?
show or something like that.
Yeah.
So stay tuned.
Yeah.
Can I plug
Yeah.
Little red light.
the little red light
Straight ahead.
right there? Okay. May 10th, I'm founding a holiday, the Trans Day of Mutual Aid. We'll be celebrating it at Rhizome the entire day. Barricade Baby may or may not be making an appearance. Dyke Wife, Girl in the Shade, bunch of others. So be at Rhizome May 10th.
Yeah, Matter
If you're trans.
Matter is
Matter is
Void.
Void also.
So
There's-
basically, Barricade Baby's gonna.
This whole
You'll see all of us
be
there.
We'll be there. We'll be doing a bunch of like mutual aid stuff, self-defense training. We're feeding the people. We're having a workshop. It'll be great.
Yeah, beyond that, we've got things going on just in the world. Like I said, most of us are in PSL or friends of the party, and so if you follow PSL Cleveland, there's also PSL Akron. There's all kinds of events going on. We're doing a May Day rally on May Day, which is May 1st. We've also got an Earth Day rally coming up on Earth Day, which is April 22nd. So follow
And
us.
a protest this Saturday,
Yeah, there's
April
a-
19th, Public Square, right? 4 p.m.
Yeah, there's a protest tomorrow also. And we'll be there if you want to hear Tam and I make speeches. We'll be doing that in front of the mic. So, yeah.
All right. Well, don't go off the grid yet, comrade. Stick around for Read or Be Read with Barricade Baby. Welcome back to kentcore. What I'm going to do is I'm going to ask a question, and you're going to read or be read. You're going to write down someone's name on who would be most likely to do something, and we're going to learn a bit about each other. So, starting off, who is most likely to miss rehearsal?
Oh, I don't know this one actually.
Okay.
Do we show now?
Do we?
Are we ready? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Low key.
Shut up. Nothing but shade for the next home.
Uh-huh.
Is the
Love
girl in
with
the
a woman
shade.
who's 2 hours away from me.
Yeah, that's rough.
All right.
Fleeting.
Who is most likely to get lost on the way to a show?
All right, we ready?
Yep.
Nothing but shade.
Really? Me? Bro, you don't even drive.
Get lost all the time up in the
That's true. That's true. Maybe not to a show, but at the same time, I can kind of see that.
I like that you wrote
She's
yourself.
not doing homework.
It's not that bad, but like out of
cheating.
everybody's, yeah.
Cheating.
All right, next one. Who's most likely to actually start a commune?
There is a right answer.
There is a right answer.
My marker barely works. Look what I wrote.
Yeah,
That's
fact
true.
check. The funny thing about this question is that the three of us actually live in a co-op house.
Yeah.
I was like, yes.
And
It's already.
And it is called the Fag Shack or the Slur Shack, which if you
if you
can't
have to
say the
censor
word
this,
fag, then you can say
Sorry.
slur.
You can say the slur of your choice, even.
No.
Yeah, like a slur that like relates to you that
Like, I say-
that you're allowed to use.
That's
not yo,
I
we're
wasn't gonna say it. Anyway.
Next question. Your
Well,
Honor.
my twist question was supposed to be who's actually prepared to start a commune, but maybe we answered
kind
that.
of
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did it. We started the con.
Sorry.
It's great. I love
Literally
it.
where we came from today.
Really nice.
Who is most likely to have aux on the way to shows?
Ooh.
That's wild.
Whoever's driving. This marker doesn't work.
All right. Are we ready?
No.
I'm gonna lick it.
so it works.
It's so funny having the big board.
Oh, now it doesn't work. That's the opposite.
Right.
I put. Wow, we all chose a different. I mean,
I
Tam.
put myself and then I put you. 'Cause I was like, no.
Tam is very organized
Uh-huh.
and is always like, "What are the things that we need?" Ren is like the AV girl. Like, she
And I
just
drive
knows.
a lot.
And she-
Yeah, and you drive a lot.
To be honest though, I trust basically everybody with that though. So it's like that was hard for me to choose.
Can I borrow your marker after you use it?
Yeah.
Mine
I'll write
doesn't work.
really fast.
Who's most likely to forget the set list?
Like
I
the actual songs or the set list itself?
Like the set list I write out every time. Because it's not going to be me. And if you put my name on the board, you will lie.
Can I say something that's not?
that already spoiled it. That already spoiled it.
Because the real answer is Dev.
Yeah, the real answer is Dev, which is our old drummer.
My marker doesn't. It's fine.
R.I.P.
Oh, I'm showing mine too early.
Because honestly, we're all okay.
live.
Yeah.
I can shout my word.
Okay.
I'll point.
Beep. This is why we all have cafes, I guess.
Put a little hammer and sickle on.
Aw, look at that.
Really good artist.
You call me.
Done that one a lot.
All right. Who is the best dressed? Who's the best fits? It'd be controversial.
Right. I was like, that's kind of a setup.
You can put multiple. You can name
Yeah.
someone else again.
Can I? Do you mind? Okay. Oh, thanks, Amira. That's sweet.
Would you?
Oh wow,
put
I'm
it
the odd
on?
one out.
Akanos
sorry,
won.
hater.
We did a fashion show, and Akanos won.
Oh my god, that's right, I did.
Yeah,
I
for New
literally
Year's-
won.
Literally, like,
There's data to
proven.
back this
For
up.
New Year's, we actually did do a fashion show in Akanos one.
I came second, though.
Yeah. And I didn't place, but I had mad drip, just saying.
Yes.
All
I
right.
come from a different musical background, as you can see. I'm the metalhead. So,
All right. Well, that is all of the time that we have today. Thank you, Barricade Baby, for joining us. Be sure to follow us on our socials at kentcore BSE on Instagram and kentcore KSU on YouTube. Good night, Portage County. Okay. Woohoo!
So I just moved